All right, here's another video in my series about cold soaking. Yes, since I'm making this video, I know there will at least be 2 videos in the series. I think if you have 2 videos, you can call it a series. And the video right before this one was on selecting a container. So if you are just popping onto this video for the first time and you're hitting the series in the middle, then please check out the video right before this, which was selecting a container. The video right after this one, that will hopefully get put up the next day or the day after, is actually a video I made like a year ago, probably, if not more. And it was basically a video on 10 ingredients that you should buy if you want to start cold soaking. And so that's why, like, if you get the vibe that that video seems like it was not made even close to the time period that this one is, you're catching the right vibe. It wasn't. It was literally made like a year ago. I've never posted it. And so I will include it as the 3rd video in this series and probably the last. The mini series will be over after that one. So in this video, I just want to go over 5 reasons to try cold soaking and 5 things that should scare you away from cold soaking. So let's go with number 1. Now, it's very rare that I actually write things down, but I almost wrote out what you can consider a script for this video. So this is pretty organized for me. All right, so reason number 1. In order to get prepped for your dinner, all you literally need to do is take your cold soak container out of your backpack and you are done. There is no setting up stoves. There is no lighting the stove. There's no going and waiting for water to boil or waiting for the food. It's just literally you take it out of the bag and you have prepped for dinner. Number 2, your cooking is literally just pouring the water into your jar and you are officially done with the cooking. That's all you have to do. And so different things will take a different amount of time to soak. If something takes 10 minutes, it might take 20 minutes, but that's 10 or 20 extra minutes you have to just kind of lollygag around camp. Number 3, you are eating only 10 to 15 minutes later after pulling it out of your pack. So literally, if you're like, all right, I'm in camp, oh man, it's getting late, I need to eat. It's literally like you open up your container, pour your water in, let it soak. By the time you're done setting up your tent, your hammock, your campsite, you're ready to eat. You don't have to then start up the stove and start boiling stuff and start cooking things. You're ready to eat. Number 4, the cleanup is ridiculously simple. All you have to do is pour a little water into the jar, swish it around, and you are done. If you're hardcore, you drink that gray water down and you are absolutely finished with the cleaning from your meal. It's that easy. And last but not least, number 5, yes, I said 5 for each, is there are no bringing pots, there's no bringing stoves, there's no bringing soap. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It all stays home. So it gives you extra room in your pack for that extra luxury item. It gives you less weight to have to carry around. It's wonderful. And if I can add in a bonus number 6 to try to sway your decision, number 6 is I'm the sort of person who loves just to kind of like sit around camp and do some reading or just, listening to some music or something like that. And it gives me a lot of extra time to do that. So there's 6 reasons why you should try cold soaking. Now, here's 5 reasons that might make you question why in the world you'd ever want to start it. Reason number 1, you obviously only have a select amount of food that can be sold cold soaked. All food that can be cooked can't necessarily be cold soaked. And the second reason why you might want to question it is because if you are eating your cold soaked meal in the summer, it's going to be cold. If you're eating it in the fall, it's going to be cold. If you're eating it in the winter, it's going to be cold. So you have to be able to be someone who could put up with that and not always need that hot thing for a meal to make you happy. Number 3, did I mention that in the summer it's cold? In the winter it's cold. It's cold. It's cold soaking. That's why that gets 2 numbers, number 2 and number 3. It's just always going to be cold. But again, if you're the sort of person that can put up with that, it's fantastic. Number 4, Are you the sort of hardcore camper that doesn't want to do any, that is really like leave no trace? Can you drink down that gray water when you're done with a meal? Again, when you're cleaning your cold soak container, all you have to do is pour some water in there, rinse it around, drink it down. You are done cleaning and you have left nothing behind. You don't have to go dig some foxhole to pour your particles into or anything like that. You are officially done. And last but not least, the one thing that I know I've gotten a lot of questions on is people saying, well, I don't know how much water to pour in. I don't know how long to cold soak it. So you do have to be willing to either experiment on the trail or experiment home beforehand. You know, let's face it, if you go out and cook a meal on the trail, as long as you're used to that sort of thing, you know, it's kind of like cooking at home. I know some people will disagree with that, but basically you put a pot on a stove, you boil your water, you pour your stuff in, you stir it up, you wait, it's done. With cold soaking, you do have to do a little extra thinking in the beginning to just say, all right, how much water do I actually need for this meal? How much food should I be putting in my container? That sort of thing. And also, I just want to clear up one misconception is that you're not, I know I've seen videos where people carry their food on their back while it's cold soaking. You're nuts. There is plenty of food that cold soaks fast enough that you don't have to carry it around on your back from lunchtime to dinner time. That's crazy. So you're not carrying any extra weight. You're just doing it all in the campsite. So there are some reasons why you might want to consider cold soaking and some reasons why you might not want to consider not to. But hey, you at least got to try it a couple of times and try it correctly. You know, look at some other videos out there on the internet, read some websites, get some good advice from people who are actual cold soakers and not people who are just experimenting themselves, and you'll have a fantastic time with it. And man, when you don't have to pack all that extra stuff and you can leave that weight and that gear at home, you will be totally into it and excited, even though it's cold, even in the winter. All right, thanks.